How many sperm do I say every day? Daily. And you're saying 3 months.
I say after ejaculation,
then it takes 3 months for another one to reproduce.
Yes.
It's something I'm saying now. Is it the ejaculation that will stop the 300 million that produce daily? It's not true, please. The normal healthy male that is above our puberty age produces on average 300 million daily. Not all of them will eventually mature. Okay? Some, while away, some will not be able to swim to expand, and some may not get to maturity. Are you following? You understand what I'm saying? Make me understand. I must not agree with what you are saying before I understand. I'm telling you it is not true that after ejaculation it takes 3 months for that to be produced. That information is not correct. You understand me? Sperm production is done on a daily basis. You get it? It's done on a daily basis. Maturation of sperm takes about 70 days to 72 days. Are you following? Before the one that is produced today is mature.
So what's supposed to like if they're reproduced daily, what's supposed to those ones that are mature that they're not.
Alright, like I said, not all of them get mature eventually. Some may not even get to this last difference. Are you following? But the ones that get mature, maybe there is no ejaculation for a very long time. There is what we call nocturnal emission. Nocturnal emission, I don't know if you've heard that word before. Nocturnal emission, or what we may refer to as wet dream, is a natural process by which sperms are destroyed. There's what we call meat. MYT, what does that mean? Correct. Things that have been held to be true, widely held to be true, but are not really true. Like a lot of persons feel that whenever they have the correlation of maybe their urine is yellowish, they say malaria. I mean, alright, it's one of the things. Or the levels of persons say, I have you feel to see whatever. You understand? These are meat. All of those doesn't cause malaria. Are you following? Bro, sometimes malaria, rare cases can correlate your urine, but mostly what changes your urine is dehydration. You understand? What changes your urine color is what? Lack of water in your system. Which, when you take water, the urine color will automatically change to white. So it's not malaria. So there are so many myths like that that young people are propagating to be true. And because it suits what you are looking for at the particular moment, you will not only imbibe it for yourself, but also help to spread the rumor. Not spreading these rumors, they are not correct. Spread what is right. Not ejaculating doesn't cause people, and it doesn't cause madness. Not doing that, the body has a natural way of destroying them. One of which is what we call nocturnal emission or wet dream. Okay, it happens to some people, especially from that age and upwards. You discover in the morning, you have some, your undies are wet. Okay, sometimes we need to know the source of information so that we know, of course, instead of test every knowledge. Yes, not every information is bad. Actually, no knowledge is a waste. You understand? But what is a waste is wrong application of knowledge. You understand? Getting to know it will not harm you, but applying the wrong one will harm you. So even if it is the wrong one, read about it and learn it. In every nonsense, continue. So another name for sperm dog, like I said, is what? Vast different. Then what is the corpus gland? Corpus gland, prostate gland, and what's another one? Seminal vessels are 3 accessory glands in the male reproductive system that produces a fluid called seminal fluid. Are you following? What is the work of the seminal fluid? It aids the mobility of spermatozoa. So sperm doesn't move except when it is being called seminal fluid. So the seminal fluid for the sperm make up a fluid called semen. Are you following? And another function is that it also helps to neutralize the alkalinity of the vulva or the vaginal environment, because presence of urine in that area makes it that environment to what? Acidity. And acidity is not very conducive to sperm. You get? Sperm doesn't like acidic environment. It's like more of what? Alkaline environment. So it helps to neutralize the acidity in that environment so that sperm can be able to thrive. Ask your question. Which of you?
Like if those
Seminal fluid.
the man has all these characteristics?
Well, even if you have a disease, the fluid itself will not be contaminated at the point of production. Are you following? It will be at the point of transportation that it will be contaminated. You understand? Which can happen to everything. And this is one of the reasons it's not really good when you are pressed not to help yourself quite easily. You get? Man may not back for a long time. It's an indication that your bladder is filled. You get? So if you are suppressing it and not trying to go and easy it, there will be a reflux. That particular urine will enter your ureter. Because the blood is a lot water than ureter and it will eventually get to the kidney. Now, if there are sexually transmitted diseases in the urethra, are you getting it? Or the bladder is going to carry them back to the kidney and it will infect it. Do you understand it now? So if there is infection in the urethra too, or in any part of the male sexual reproductive system, by the time that particular fluid gets mixed with the sperm and they are being transported to the sperm duct or the vas deferens for storage, it can be infected. Do you understand? It can be infected. So it is not about, even if you have disease, what your body is producing is not having disease. And that is what coming. And that is why somebody who is HIV positive can give birth to a child with HIV negative. Are you following? The baby, the originator of the baby is not HIV. The baby is going to be contacted HIV during the childbirth, any mixture with your blood. But from where it is coming from, there is no such question. But the point is that HIV, human immunodeficiency virus, is a very minute organism that are quite infinitesimal. You barely can see it. In fact, not barely, you cannot see it. In fact, a lot of HIV like this contains about 230,000 viruses. And then contains about 230,000 viruses. So when it is about 1,000, can you see it? When it is 10, can you see it? No, let alone when it is 1. So the thing can penetrate even the most microscopic hole you can think about. That is why condom doesn't always protect you. Because some of them have microscopic hole, which HIV can pass through. How does it? Already the HIV virus, depending on how long it's living in the body, the HIV virus are found first in the white blood cell. In the white blood cell, which can be found in so many fluids in the body. You understand? So it's possible for one ejaculation to contain millions of HIV virus, which will eventually enter the female body. How will it not enter the blood? It will eventually get the person infected. So I don't know if you get the answer I'm giving you. I don't know which other answer I got. So it is not only by blood contact, alright? And even if it is by blood contact, you can actually have a blood contact during sexual intercourse. Alright? So all of these are one of the things we need to give attention to. So let's proceed. I've talked about the vas deferens, talked about how many sperms are produced on a daily basis at the time it takes for this sperm to do what? To mature. Alright? Now, what is the function of the epidermis? What is the function of the epidermis? Yes? Yes? So today we are going to be focusing on that of the female reproductive system. Female reproductive system. Before I proceed, just as usual, I want you to listen to a few things which some of you have explained before. Okay, that's true. And actually, you didn't answer it. The epidermis is a 6 cm long coiled tube that is found at the back of each testis. It's 6 cm long. It's already your nose. You're not in my last one. It's a 6 cm long coiled tube that are found at the back of each testis. That are found at the back of each testis. Alright? And it is responsible for production of sperm. Sperm production starts at the seminiferous tubule, which is the tinier part of the epididymis. The basic unit of the epididymis is called what? Seminiferous tubule. A seminiferous tubule, the dividing of the seminiferous tubule by meiosis is what gives rise to sperm production, and that's at puberty. Are you following? It is at puberty. So this seminiferous tubule, when exists in bundles, it forms what? Epididymis. Are we with that? When it exists in bundles, it's called epididymis. Are we together? That's the formula. Any other question before we proceed? Okay? Now, the female reproductive system. First, let me explain a few things before you can go through the notes. I say that the female reproductive system, of course, is made up of the internal and the external. Most of the reproductive system lies inside the body, but a few of them, like the vulva and vagina, lies outside the body, all of which are structured in such a way that they can adapt or receive sperm production, alright, which is going to be used to fertilize the ova. OVA is the egg of the woman. It is the smallest egg ever. I would mean it is what? The smallest egg ever. Right? What is the biggest egg? That of the ostrich is the biggest, right? That of the human being is the smallest. Are we together? Now, the ova, every female is actually born with this ova, what we call primary oocytes. What do I call it? Yes, primary oocyte. This primary oocyte, there are about 200,000 of them in each female. Are you following? But not all of them get mature in female reproductive age, which begins at the puberty and stops at menopause. Are we together? However, the egg is primarily there from birth, but gets mature from puberty. You understand? There are about 200,000 of them present, but about 400 gets mature during the human's reproductive life, which is between puberty and menopause. Puberty starts between the ages of 11 and 12, alright? And some can start quite early, like 9, alright? But on average, female puberty begins between the age of 11 and 13. You understand? For some people, especially in developed country, start quite early. You understand? So during this period, ova gets mature in a cycle, alright, known as menstrual cycle. The menstrual cycle begins from the first day of a menstrual flow to the first day of another flow. The days in between is what we call the menstrual cycle, and usually it is between 26 to 32 days, on average 8. Are we together? So this cycle includes the onset of the flow. The flow is as a result of mature or ruptured endometrial tissue. The tube of the endometrium in a female body will get ruptured. The rupturedness is as a result of the preparedness for it to get the ova to get fertilized. Are you flowing? So after waiting for that time and it doesn't get fertilized, they now burst and discharge the blood, which typically lasts between 3 to 7 days, on average 5. Right then? Listen again. Okay. What? Let's hear you. Can a woman give birth after 15 years? Please call Mom Sarah on the phone. Tell you. Call Mom Sarah. We will answer that question. Now, what we are teaching you is scientifically proven information. Well, sometimes there can be few or rare exceptional cases. You understand? But that doesn't make it a standard. Alright? There are people who have given birth above 45 years, which is right? Menopause between 40 to 45 years. Alright? There are people who have given birth far beyond that. Record are there. And there are people who are below that, who are finding it difficult to conceive. You understand? You know, so fact. Okay? Your own case could be exceptional and it does not take away the fact. You understand? It does not take away the fact. One of my mentors is teaching someday, he said, that if you don't have money, does not mean that the principle of getting money is false. Usually, there is something wrong with your application, which may be peculiar to you. You will not say because of it, then what they are teaching is trash. No, it works. You understand? It works. Actually, these are principles. So the point I want to make is that the reproductive age where the woman is supposed to be pregnant is between the ages of 13 and 14. Are you playing? Right. So if there are exceptional cases, there is no cases. So during this time, every cycle, one egg gets matured from the two ovaries. There are two ovaries in a body of a woman. Alright? So, and each of them produces only one egg. So when this one is producing, the other one will not produce. Are you playing? So one from each ovary will mature at the end of each cycle. And if after fertilization there is, if after waiting for fertilization there is none, then it will have to discharge out in a process called ovulation. Right? The process of discharging the matured egg outside the body is called ovulation, and that happens about 14 days of the cycle, which is about 9 days after a flow. Alright? About 9 days after a flow. So this is the peak of fertility of a woman, the time where the woman is at the highest chance of getting pregnant is on that 14th day. However, the woman can get pregnant between 2 days before the ovulation and 2 days after the ovulation. So let's call it about 1 week around the ovulation time. There's a possibility of getting pregnant if there is presence of spermatozoa around, since sperm will have to leave the clear body for about 3 to 5 days. So there's likelihood that the one who is done and the ovulation that is done prior to that ovulation can wait until the egg meets the sperm, the upper oviduct, and then it will be fertilized. After fertilization, the fertilized zygote swim back to the uterus to implant itself into the uterus, and then waits for its development within the gestation period for human beings is 36 weeks, 36 to 40 weeks, right? 36 to 40 weeks. So there are different gestation periods for different animals, and so on and so forth. So the body of the woman is made of the ovary, the two that I talked about, then the funnel-shaped uterus. Uterus is the home where the implantation happens. Right? Implantation happens. So then the vulva. Okay, let's just give an overview. Right? Reproductive system. Okay, the reproductive system of female is made up of the reproductive system of females is made up of the internal and external sex organs. It's made up of the internal and external sex organs. Made up of the internal and external sex organs that functions in the female body, that functions in the female human, that functions in the female human reproductive system to produce new offspring. To produce new offspring. The reproductive system is immature at birth. The reproductive system is immature at birth. The reproductive system is what? Immature at birth and develops during puberty. And develops during puberty. and develop during puberty to be able to release and develop during puberty to be able to release mature ova. OVA means egg. Mature ova from the ovaries. OVARIES, right? Ovaries. Of course, I told you there are two of them, right? That's why I have to be true. Okay, from the ovaries to facilitate the fertilization. Either to facilitate the fertilization and develop a protective environment for development of the fetus. Yes, protective environment. To be able to develop or create a protective environment for the development of the fetus during pregnancy. The protective environment. Okay. To be able to develop the fetus, right? That's what I said. During pregnancy. The female reproductive tract is made up of several connected internal sex organs. Vagina, uterus. So the female reproductive tract is made up of several connected internal sex organs. Connected internal sex organ. Alright? Including the uterus, the vagina, and fallopian tube. Either the vagina allows, I said fallopian tube, have you seen that? And this is nucleus, I said uterus, UTERUS, uterus. Including the uterus, vagina, and what? The fallopian tube. The vagina allows for sexual intercourse and childbirth. The vagina allows for sexual intercourse and childbirth. And it is connected to the uterus and cervix. And it is connected to the uterus at what? Cervix. CERVIX. And it is connected to the uterus at what? Cervix. Either the uterus accommodates the embryo. The uterus accommodates the embryo by developing the uterine lining. By developing what? The uterine lining. Either the uterus also produces secretions. The uterus also produces what? Secretions, which helps to transit. The uterus also produces what? Secretions, which help the transition of sperm to the fallopian tube. Which helps the transition of sperm to the fallopian tube, where it fertilizes the ovary. process called cell division. Okay? Natural process called cell division is what energizes. Now, not all over, you are talking about fertilized over, right? Not all of them will eventually break. Now, it's just like asking questions to say, what makes some people to be stronger than others? Okay? The answer will also boil down to natural makeup. There are people who can lift baby weights, not like this of course. You understand? So there are some over that are after fertilization. Maybe it may be as a result of the genetic makeup and also the nutrients available that will make them to overgrow their size and then divide into two. That division is what gives rise to the identical twins. Are you following? Now, yes, fraternal is also division, but fraternal identical twins is when an ova have been fertilized with one sperm.